He's helped us a lot with mushrooms over the years.
I work for the university for a program called Small Business.
No, that was Kevin.
That was Kevin. I was like, Kevin and I were colleagues.
Yeah,
small business.
yeah.
And I made food systems business, work with farmers, work with restaurants,
Apparently his office is fairly low.
yeah. 10 years. 10 years. Yeah. Social media. I think I met y'all maybe like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he was maybe
2018. Did you? When you lose people like that, I go out there a little bit.
You have motivators.
Also, I think
apparently U.S. goes away $500 million in
because I'm curious. It's in Orangeburg. It's down 176, almost to
So you're outside the club, you go to the other side, you're outside across.
I have Because they're trying to make it. Although I did have an armor last year.
Like something was off with the
So you don't have any problems? I've been in something.
yeah, it's sort of
Yeah, wait a minute. Residential pickups?
No, I'm still exploring right now.
Okay.
Trying to figure out how to do the same thing. We got everybody's got out there. I don't really want to jump in and stuff out. Again, just trying to figure it out. There might be like instead of giving individual figures going
Good morning, everybody. If you haven't already, please scan the QR code. This is how we take our attendance, and we want them to know that we are alive and thriving. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. So if this is your first time with us, please also scan the QR code and become a friend. So thank you, and I'll get going here in probably 90 seconds.
He's doing good. He's on a baby moon.
Baby man, they had a baby.
He's about to have a baby.
About to have a baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the end of October. So, yeah.
Last
Yeah. I like to say he got married in June.
Okay.
And his wife had seems to be wonderful.
And
Very
he's
happy for
curious.
him. He's living in New Mexico.
So he's living in New Mexico.
Yeah, so he had moved to Durango a few years ago during
I
Colorado.
remember you saying that he's out in Colorado.
It was a permanent thing, yeah. Yeah, he moved out there. It was originally for a different girl. And that didn't work out.
Going somewhere for a girl.
Going somewhere for a girl, yeah. But yeah, things happen, exactly as they're supposed to.
No doubt.
Yeah, then he met Kai, who's the one that he married. And they're in Taos, which is just a few hours from Durango. Yeah, it's like at the base of the mountains. Yeah, it's like the last rock piece there. Taos. Okay. I've just driven by it enough to go, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, has everybody scanned in their attendance?
Everybody's little merch is
So you're still doing it? So you're working on it?
still doing it.
Good morning. I hope everybody scanned in their attendance. This morning's video is brought to you by Fanatic Productions. Can you make her full screen for me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ragtaggers. Our own Thaddeus Jones, Dr. Thaddeus Jones. The reason I'm showing this one is this was low budget. This was locally shot. This was locally created. We act like it's that complicated. It's just about being committed. Video did pretty good. Actually won a couple of awards. Sad part, this was featured in Ad Week, which is an industry pub. But the client didn't post it on their social media. Didn't promote it. So part of this is if you're gonna step out on the marketing and advertising part, people, you gotta step out. You gotta put in the work. Don't create stuff and it go away. Hit play for me, please.
Yes, sir.
Baked beans weren't on the list. No. Who made the baked beans? I said, who made the baked beans? I'm serious. Who made the baked beans? I did, but I brought the paper plates too, though. I don't know what you put in these beans, but from now on, you are a baked bean person. Yeah, don't even try them. I told you they were good. See?
Add a kick of flavor to any dish with one of our mumbo barbecue sauces. Create your own special recipe.
Why am I still on napkins, Vicky? Veggies in the mac and cheese, that's why.
5 words you pronounce
That
wrong.
was
2 years before your brain starts
Okay.
shutting down.
I didn't do that. That was probably, we're waffling back and forth about $10,000, $12,000. But when you think about all the people involved and everything, and it was shot and it plays where it's good enough for a national level. But
I'm sorry, it played national within athletes who were up against.
yeah, it went up against
Ludacris Jiffy commercial that aired nationally where his hair grew and he ate peanut butter. Like it was in the same category as them.
So what I'm trying to get us to understand is you don't have to go to New York, you don't have to go to Chicago. There's plenty of local talent. You can put these spots together. But you've got to have first a plan, then a budget included in the plan, and then a will to do the work. Those 3 things. And a lot of us talk about it, but we aren't about it. This is your baby. How are you getting your message out? So I want to leave y'all with that thought. If you're not telling folks about your business, who is?
All right, everybody, last chance. Please scan the QR code if you just came into the room. And that's how we take our attendance. We want them to know that we are alive and thriving. First timers, please also scan the QR code and become a friend. So 1 more minute to do that. Thank you, everybody. We're going to get through some housekeeping, and then we're going to get to our presenter today. Okay, so welcome. This is 1 Million Cups, and the mission of 1 Million Cups is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for all types of new, seasoned, and aspiring entrepreneurs throughout the United States. We are a national organization. We meet every Wednesday across the U.S. at 9 a.m. Our next closest chapter is located in Charleston. Our key pillars is we give presentations not pitches. We make authentic connections. We're not just here to network. And we're radically and intentionally inclusive and run for the community, by the community. And what I mean by that are these are the local businesses that come here and sponsor and help us bring this program to you. So we also are grateful to the USC Columbia Technology Incubator for housing us every week. Our local program, we have been here for over 10 years. We're held weekly on Wednesday mornings, and we have had over 500 entrepreneur presentations. We also offer educational topics like finance, future frame, networking, and local resources. We have one presenter a week with about a 5 to 6 minute presentation followed by Q&A from the community. And I'm happy to say starting in September, we're going to go back to the original program, which is 2 presenters a week. We now have a pipeline full enough to be able to do that, which I am so excited for. We also provide Made It sessions where we have entrepreneurs come back who have made it in the community and share their stories with us. We're always free, we're always open to the public, and we would love for you to bring a friend and let's help this community grow. We are asking for more presenters. Again, it is not a sales pitch. It is not an investor pitch. The goal here is to have people understand what you do and some of the challenges you've had in building your business. We love new companies that are 0 to 5 years old and open to community engagement. We also love companies, maybe you've got an idea and you want to share it with the crowd and get some feedback. We'd love to hear what your ideas are. You can apply there at that link, or you can come and see myself or any of us organizers in person. Bob, me, Thaddeus, Derek, we've got Deb, we've got a lot of us here today, so please let us know. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is our 1 Million Cups Facebook page, which is kind of our national page, and this one here, this is our local, kind of like our family page, the Columbia page. If you're not a member to this one, please join. You can click that link right now to get in on that. We'd love to encourage engagement here. If you have questions, if you need a resource, if you want to share something, please do so on this page for all of us. We got some upcoming presenters I'm going to share with you. So in the next 4 weeks, next week we're going to have Miss Sandra Ramirez Metroid. She's coming in to talk about her experience growing her business, the Growth Path Project. Following her, we have Miss Jada Willis. She was a former 1 Million Cups organizer. She's coming back to talk about what her journey was with 1 Million Cups and where she's at today. And then we have September 3rd, Deb Mullen is going to be presenting her business, All Eyes Are On You, and the journey to create that. And on the 10th, we have Mr. Lester Boykin coming in to talk about his business, Accountability is Freedom. I'd like everybody to be mindful. I've added, this is a new slide this week. We've had some, please check your phones and make sure they are on silent out of the respect for our presenters. We just, it's been something that we all, we're all, but please take a second right now and please check your phones. I truly appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Turn them silent, off, whatever. All right, and now I'm proud to present Miss Adina Maynard. Now, Adina is an oncology nurse who turned unexpected game founder. She's had a passion for brain health, neurodiversity, and purposeful design. With over 14 plus years at the bedside, she discovered that helping people feel seen, supported, and mentally strong truly excites her. That same drive led her to create this game, Cattywampus, which is a fast, clever, family-friendly word game that supports neuroplasticity and gives players a joyful, strategic mental reset. And if you were with us last year when she launched or began this journey, I will say, Adina, we're so excited to have her back here now, 12 months later, to talk about where it's taken her, what she's doing, and where she's at today. So please, while I get her up, welcome Miss Adina Maynard for me.
Fun to be back. Hello everyone. The room is much more full than it was last time. And it's always good to see some familiar faces. So, Cattywampus. It's a very common word in the South, if you will. Cattywampus is a game that I played in my head for years. and we'll talk about that in a moment. But it's come a long way, as you can tell. Face. Oh, sorry. There you go. There we go. So truly, it all started with a simple prayer. About 8 years ago, I started praying that God would move me away from the bedside. I love being an oncology nurse. I love taking care of patients. I love holding their hand through a very scary process. I specialized in bone marrow transplants, so these are patients that are with us for 30 days. Their families are typically there. And so it's just a huge honor and privilege to walk them through a very scary time. However, anyone who's been in healthcare lately knows that there's a constant push to do more with less. There's policies that don't make sense. Staffing is short, supplies are limited, equipment is broken. And so I just started praying that God would move me away from the bedside, still allow me to be a nurse, and that he would give me something creative to do. I didn't know what that looked like. At the time, I thought I was going to refurnish furniture because it was very trendy. I didn't own a sander. I'd never done that before in my life. I don't know why I thought that was going to be my next project. Anyway, so it all started with a simple prayer. So Cattywampus is a game I have played in my head for years. I did a social media post earlier this year of how I played Cattywampus at church on Easter Sunday, just because of some words that were on the back of the sanctuary and how my brain just started rearranging letters. It was pretty comical, actually. And so it wasn't until 2022 that I read an article by written about Josh Wardle and how he created Wordle, and I was like, I wonder if that thing I do in my head, I wonder if other people do it. Maybe that could be an idea. And then my husband, unbeknownst to him, he didn't know I played this game in my head. He didn't know that I had read this article by Josh Wardle. Sends me an article about how much money Candy Crush makes on any given day. Who wants to throw a number?
Daily?
Daily.
Price.
1.5.
No. $600,000 a day. And I was like, well, maybe this little thing I do in my head will move me away from the bedside. And so we started doing what I call behind the scenes statue work, right? We started taking the process to secure the IP. After we finalized the rules, we did the branding, the logo, the website, all that fun stuff. It's really not fun. But anyway, I digress. And then corporation was formed in early 2023. Vetted a developer. That was probably the longest vetting process because for me, it's always been about the right fit. I want to make sure I'm working with people who catch the vision of what I'm trying to accomplish with Cattywampus and help me get it to its full potential. Our launch was June of this year. It was a very exciting time. It was very anticlimactic. For those that saw the social media post, I did a video about what it takes to launch an app. And there's a lot leading up to launch day, but literally when you launch an app, you just push a button. And I was like, okay, now what am I going to do the rest of the day? So launch was in June. We launched with our single player game of the day, which we have rebranded as Catty Classic. And Catty Classic has been ready for the app stores for quite some time, for probably over a year. But we're also beta testing the 2-player game. And I didn't want to launch because Cattywampus is so unique. I did not want to launch with without the 2-player game being close to ready for the public, because it would be easy once the game takes off if we didn't have the 2-player game already in the pipeline for another company to grab the idea and create their own 2-player game. So it was a very strategic position that I took to hold off launch with the single-player game to strategically launch the 2-player game. Launch was very eye-opening. It was very humbling. And we advertised for about 10 days. Within those 10 days, we advertised on Unity ads. So our ad was playing in other mobile games, because that's, you want to meet the players where they are. We advertised on Google and we advertised on Facebook. We had some issues with Apple ads, so Apple did not come into play during the first 10 days of advertising, which is pivotal because in those first 10 days, we had 1,500 downloads, which is a decent number. The majority of our players do come from Apple, not Android. So the fact that we had 1,500 majority Android users tells me that that number could have been much larger had we had Apple in play. However, we always have to learn, right? So after 10 days of running ads, we quickly learned, this all goes back to your dev team, right? You've got to have a team that has your back. We quickly learned we had a high churn rate. So what that means is players are either downloading the game, not completing a game, or downloaded it, didn't understand it, and deleted it right away. So we weren't capturing the attention. We weren't taking them through the journey. So we paused ads. We took a step back. We anticipated what we have now called a reset. And in the reset, you just kind of have to take a look at, it's like sending your child off to college, right? You're like, I did the best I could. And there was more to learn. So in the reset, we are in the middle of the reset right now. We are giving the game a facelift. So it doesn't quite look like an indie game developer anymore. It's starting to look like a game that can play with the big boys. We have created an interactive tutorial, which will go live into the app next week. An interactive tutorial, I think, is super important because Cattywampus is not the Candy Crush of board games. This is a game that makes you think. It makes you really focus on the game. It's not something you can do when you want to just tune out. There are games that are appropriate for that. Candy Crush is one of them. Cattywampus is not Candy Crush. So an interactive tutorial gives people muscle memory, helps them learn the game in a more friendly way. Our current tutorial is simply just a video. So an interactive tutorial. The other reason we were having a high churn rate is not everyone likes a timer. Catty Classic is a 3-minute timed game to create as many words as possible, and not everyone likes a timer. So we are about to release next week with our interactive tutorial, Cattywampus Carefree, which is a timer-free version of the game. So instead of racing the clock for 3 minutes, you have 11 opportunities to hit submit, and after those 11 opportunities, you're done. So kind of a Zen mode, if you will. And then, of course, we're still beta testing the 2-player game. So we've got a lot going on with the reset. The last thing we're doing in the reset is really improving the user experience. And with that, we are adding streaks into the game, so daily streaks. Play 7 days, you get a big surprise. We have revalued our token currency of the game, and we're about to introduce power-ups. So lots more features that make the game more sticky and enjoyable to play. You have to learn from your mistakes. I saw a quote earlier this week that said, if you are, oh gosh, how did I put it?
You're not making mistakes, you're not making decisions.
Thank you. If you're not making mistakes, you're not making decisions. My dyslexia clicked in right there. And so, you have to take a step back. I think as a business owner, you have your own vision of what you want your business to be, but you also have to listen to customers. You also have to listen to the market. And you also have to pay attention to your larger goal. Like this, if I wanted to create a game that just I wanted to play, I could. It'd be a very expensive lesson, and I wouldn't make any money. That's not my goal. The goal for Cattywampus these days is to really help as many people as possible. So, like I said, we have new game modes brewing. We've got Carefree that's coming into play mostly next week. We have the 2-player game that's going to be coming out hopefully in the fall. We are continually growing our social channels. That will be my ask when you ask me the famous question today. We have started the process through the Madrid Protocol to take Cattywampus global. Our first venture into other countries will be Canada, the UK, the European Union, New Zealand, and Australia. Long-term 5-year plan, a Spanish version, Cattywampus Junior, and board games. I will tell you, as a nurse, I got super excited about Cattywampus, not because I thought it could make a lot of money and move me away from the bedside, but when I started to do the market research and realized this is not just a fun new word game to play, it can actually be a tool to help people maintain cognitive acuity as they age, right? So Tara, when she introduced me, used that fancy word, neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity in science and medicine is just a fancy way to say keep your brain learning new things. And so typically if you want to keep your brain sharp, keep learning new things. Whether you want to learn how to tap dance, learn how to kayak, learn how to fly a plane, learn how to play Cattywampus, keep your brain learning new things. Fun fact, the brain is the hungriest organ in the body. Yes. Anyway. All right, so, hang on this. We are on YouTube, Discord, and Facebook. We also are on TikTok and Instagram, but these are the 3 social channels that we are pushing towards having people follow. For those of us that are older, you may not know about Discord. It's really a Web3 platform, mostly for the younger people. YouTube, our YouTube channel is starting to have more how to play moments. So for people who want to learn how to play the game, they can go to YouTube. And of course, good old Facebook. Thank you.
Yeah. Questions? This is your chance. Oh, here we go. Right out the gate. Begin.
What platform are y'all building on? Like, I know you mentioned Unity ads. Are y'all using Unity? Or,
So the game is built in Unity, and we also use Firebase and PlayFab for the backends.
Are you considering Asia with the number of people that love video games, or is that too out of the box?
It is not out of the box. It is on the global plan. We actually, our IP attorney is based here in Colombia. And I specifically chose them because he does a lot of, he's with a law firm, but this particular attorney does a lot of work in Asia. There's a strong push in Asian countries to learn English language, so that is a niche that we're looking at. Richard?
Yeah, so I didn't know what Discord was either, so don't feel bad. Kind of going back to your advertising, you talk about the 1,500 downloads and the 10-day push. Just kind of so we understand what that looks like. How many impressions do you have over those 10 days to get those 1,500 downloads? And how many of those downloads are still with you if you know?
How many downloads are still with us? So our daily average user number has decreased. We probably average about 40 to 50 daily players that play consistently. It's one of the reasons we're adding streaks into the mix because, again, this goes back to if I wanted to build a game that I wanted to play, that would be one thing. But if I want to build a game that can help as many people as possible, I have to listen to your audience, right? And so streaks are not important to me. Streaks are important to a lot of people, so we're putting them in the game. And who knows, maybe streaks will be important to me one day. For me personally, it's just about the daily challenge. So we are in the reset addressing keeping the user retention, if you will. Impressions, gosh, you're making me go back a little while now. I want to say, I can't even give you a number.
That's okay.
Sorry. It was a big number. So, sorry. Can't answer that one. I will get you that number though when we reset and start advertising again.
No worries. I just thought it would be nice for people to know, like, 1,000 impressions might only get you like 1 download.
Correct. I want to say it's probably around 10 to 15,000 impressions. Yeah. Because people have to see something 7 or 8 times before they decide to click.
Can you talk about monetizing for this?
Sure.
A lot of us who play other games, your game is awesome, by the way, and I am on a streak and I play everything.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so monetizing the app. It's changed a little bit in how we monetize. Originally, before launch, I was talking to our developer because I really hate ads. I absolutely hate ads. And he said, I hate ads too, but I like to feed my family more. So when we launched with ads, not a high number of ads, but ads. You know, it's like in any business, you can't please everybody. Some people hate ads and will delete it. Some people would rather pay and get rid of ads. Some people don't care. Some people will watch ads to earn tokens, right? And so monetizing, our team is currently tasked with how to monetize the app without ads. I'm not sure what that looks like, but you gotta find that sticky point. That'll probably be done through A/B testing. As we have more players, I think we need 1,500 players continually playing a day before we can really get a true account of what A/B testing will show us. A/B testing is you throw something out to group A and group B and see how it performs. And so the goal is no ads. So currently we have the OGC, which is our original Gamester crew. It is a monthly subscription. It's a whopping $2.99 for those who love Cattywampus. Please sign up. So the OGC gives you double the daily gift. That is a change actually. It was triple, but now it's double as we're looking to change the monetization. So it'll eventually, starting next week, give you double the daily gift. It gives you free play into Cattywampus Carefree. It gives you extra avatars. It gives you a bonus of 1,100 tokens, because that's coming with the token reval. So there's a lot of changes that are coming along. So the OGC is one way to monetize. Once we have enough traction, my goal is to have Catty Classic be a sponsored game. So meaning, I always like to use the example of REI. REI wants to be the sponsor for Catty Classic that day. They have a 5 or 10-second ad that pops up, talks about REI, and then the game launches. If you play Catty Classic, you'll know what I'm talking about. It will launch with 3 words that describe that brand, and so now we have gamified REI within the app for the entire day. You can buy tokens, you can earn tokens, you can watch an ad to earn tokens, so there's lots of ways to monetize.
Tell us a little bit about your personas. It sounds like with neuroplasticity, that doesn't sound like an 18-year-old word. So how are, who is your ideal, customer, if you will, or are you trying to put touch points on different generations, if that makes sense?
That's a great question. There's lots of ways to advertise Cattywampus. Our demographic is anyone who plays word games, who's ready to level up. So that can be anywhere from 10 years old to 60 plus. My grandson played Cattywampus for the very first time and hit triple digits. I can't say that for everybody. Right, but this is the generation that's born with something electronic in their hands. So there's a lot of niches that we can target. I do believe there's a place for Cattywampus in the world of oncology as cancer patients are going through treatment and are recovering from treatment. They're dealing with chemo brain and brain fog. There's a lot of talk in the cancer world about what recovery looks like after treatment is done. They do a lot with physical recovery, start taking walks, going to the gym, building up your muscle and stamina again. There's a lot of talk with the emotional aspect of going to group therapy, to going to a counselor, joining a support group, being around other survivors. But there's not a lot of talk in the cancer world about what you can do to regain some mental acuity. And the Alzheimer's Association just came out with the results of the Pointer study at the end of July that said there are things we can do today that we can now trace to helping prevent cognitive decline in the future. One of which is social engagement. So when you go out to dinner with friends, when you take a walk with someone, when you are with other people, like 1 Million Cups, right? That is all part of helping do your part to prevent cognitive decline in the future, because we were born into community, right? We were not designed to live isolated. Isolation increases your risk of dementia and Alzheimer's as you age. So staying in community is a an important part, and so is learning new things. So that just came out in the pointer study. So there's more and more research that supports what we're trying to accomplish at Cattywampus, and so that's pretty exciting.
Can you tell us more about your initial ad? Like, was it video? I mean, I'm assuming maybe it was video, but can you tell us more about what the actual ad was?
Yeah, it was a video. It was not very long. It was about 10, 20 seconds. And it will be a different ad with the reset. I'm really looking to grab the attention of the core audience, which is those word players who want to level up and, as I like to say, do their part to keep their noggin sharp, right? That's the demographic that I'm looking for. That ad may include me talking, I'm not sure. Still working with the marketing team on what that ad looks like. We've kind of put that on the back burner until we know what the reset looks like.
Have you guys also considered using creators?
UGCs. Yeah. The budget does not allow for UGCs at this point, but hopefully. UGCs have really gotten smart these days as far as how to monetize their talents. So eventually, again, it's always, for me, it's always been, I want to work with the right people. I want it to be the right fit. So we actually did just post, I just posted on the job board at USC yesterday to find a marketing intern to help grow the channel. So, Miss G?
Pretty sure I don't know how to play games too much. But, what's different with this particular game with the friends, when people play together, the words game where everybody
Words with Friends?
Yeah.
So the concept behind Cattywampus is unlike any other word game out there. Most other word games, you are building words off of other words. It's very structured, very stringent. Cattywampus, you can break words apart, rearrange them, reformulate them. And so a lot of times when word game people start playing Cattywampus, they're like, wait, I can do that? Yes, you can. So it's just a new concept. I talk to investors and I'll say it's a new idea in a proven field that generates a lot of money.
Well, in the blessing, I love it. I'm gonna have to start playing games because I need to keep your brain sharp.
All right. Well, next week when we launch the interactive tutorial, I will send you a text and go, download that.
That's awesome. Thank you.
We had a question in the back here.
Sure, yes. I'm wondering, you were mentioning the social aspect of the game, and I do apologize if I missed this in your presentation, but wondering if you're thinking about creating like leagues or opportunities for folks to maybe connect around, say, cities, or like picking categories of words and having people create more of that social connection and a league or community type thing.
We've talked about doing leagues within the game. That is months down the road. I don't know if this is actually in the reset or something to do soon after the reset, but it is the ability to share your end of game screen on social. That's truly how Wordle spread so fast, as people started sharing their screens. So that is high on the list to add.
The gentleman over here.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry if I missed this part, but you said when you originally launched, you went with Android and not Apple. So why it did like that, or?
Sure. So we launched in both the Apple Store, the App Store with Apple, and Google Play. We launched in both. Ads only started in Google. Ads did not go into Apple Ads. There was a couple of hoops we had to jump through, and by the time we finished jumping through those hoops, we had decided, the decision was made to stop advertising. To continue advertising at that point, knowing our churn rate was high, would be just like washing money down the drain. So,
this is a question, I guess, kind of picking up what we just speaking about regarding your margins. I like it. It sounds like you have really good margins considering the fact that it's, is it cloud-based now? I'm assuming maybe it's a cloud-based app, and your margins may be pretty decent. But I don't know what your overhead is. Can you kind of like go over maybe something that if someone will want to work with you, like whatever peripheral or whatever capacity, what types of things would you be looking for a partner, or say someone that you need to kind of help churn your business along, in conjunction? I guess what I'm trying to say is in conjunction with your margins. Like, are you willing to? I don't know.
Can you explain what you mean by margins?
So,
Profitability.
Yeah. So, like, how much so your profit margin, essentially, like, how much you're going to take versus how much your gross versus your profit margin. So I just want to know, like, it looks like you really have good margins. Is why I'm asking that question. And how would you take on, say, someone who wanted to partner with you, or like, in what capacity, would you be willing to take someone on? Yes.
Sure. So we are working with a company right now to find investors. We are not looking for a VC opportunity. We are looking for about $500,000. It does not have to be all from one person. It could be from possibly 10 people. Again, for me, it goes back to, is it the right fit? Right? If someone came up to me today and said, here's $500,000, but you need to do this, 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 and this, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Right? Because one, it's important to me to have my voice heard. Two, it's important to me to partner with someone who understands the vision that me and the team have for Cattywampus. I learned a long time ago, early on, God showed me that it was not getting Cattywampus to where I want it to be was bigger than anything I could do on my own. And so we have an amazing team. We have a creative operations coordinator. We have started to bring tech in-house. So moving more away from an outside developer, bringing it in-house. We have a marketing team based out of Newberry. And these are all people that understand the potential of Cattywampus and are helping launch it in that direction. So we're all on the same page, all working with our own unique talents, because gosh knows, if it was just up to me, it would still be a dream.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Adina, hey, can you tell us what the developer vetting process was like, especially having a nursing background and not being very technical? Like, how did you get yourself up to speed to be able to vet this person?
Right. That's a great question. So yeah, vetting the developer was the hardest, longest process. The more you start to interview developers for your project, the more you start to realize it's an abundant industry that will do whatever you ask it to do for a cost, right? So when we started vetting developers, we got quotes anywhere from $20,000 to $200,000. That's a big margin. As I started to learn and understand the process, talking to people in the industry, in the coding and development industry, I have learned that there are some coders that will do exactly what you ask them to do, even though they know it won't work. I didn't need that in my world. Right? When you're trying to build something from nothing, you need people to understand what you're trying to build and help you solve those problems along the way. So through the process, I realized I wanted to keep it in the United States. Not that there's not talent globally, but the word game industry is primarily focused in the US. The US spends more money in word games than any other country. So I needed someone in the US because I wanted them to be able to understand word game culture. Even when we started bringing tech in-house and hiring coders, it was important that these people played the game, understood the vision. I asked them, what is it that you see that you would like to fine tune and tweak, which they were very happy to have that conversation because they did see things and I wanted their voice to be heard. So it was important for me to be someone in the United States. I didn't want someone who was a liaison. There are a lot of companies out there who will be based in the United States, but they outsource the work to other countries. And so it was really 3 degrees of separation, right? and we probably talked to close to 30 developers. It's a long time. But I knew it was just that key moment that it had to be the right company. My neighbor referred me to her brother, who referred me to a gaming company. They deal with like Disney. I'm like, no, we're not Disney. Who referred me to someone else and actually had a conversation with them. And that's, so despite all the 30 interviews, it really was someone in the network, right? Sometimes it's not who you know, it's who they know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. We have time for maybe 2 more questions. Any other? Yes, sir, in the back.
Initially, in your first presentation about a year ago, you did introduce this maybe to for investors to take place. Could you talk a little bit more about this? And another thing, the academic portion, are you going to try and introduce to maybe early school, grade, maybe childhood education to kind of jumpstart them with learning word phrases or whatever?
yeah, there are a lot of niches that can be identified in the world of word games. It is a family-friendly game. We have taken out all the curse words, to the sadness of some of my friends and family.
I would say from like a school setting.
Sure, I hear what you're saying. So it is a family-friendly game because I wanted kids who are learning to read and spell to be able to play the game. I am not marketing Cattywampus as an educational game. Cattywampus is actually what is called a blue ocean for those of you who are in business that understand that concept. So brain games feel like homework. Casual games feel like junk food. So Cattywampus is a new genre in the gaming industry in that it is a combination of fun and smarts, right? It's quirky and clever, and it keeps people coming back playing. So I hope that answered your question. We're not aiming for schools.
Okay.
I can see maybe long term, once we turn a profit, being at teacher conferences, offering Cattywampus as a fun way. You know, I think teachers would much rather their kids play Cattywampus than be on social media scrolling, so we'll see.
The investment portion?
What's your question for investment?
Well, I think initially, like I said, a year ago, you were, I think, maybe that's changed. You were looking for investors, and I think you just said, well, you're not looking for someone to just maybe throw a bunch of money at you, but how does that look and how has it changed since a year ago?
Sure. So VCs typically are looking for the unicorn, right? They want to give you $1 million and return $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Cattywampus.
Mm.
So the ask is for $500,000. Like I said, it could be 10 people giving $50,000. It could be one investor giving $500,000. The key, though, is to partner with investors who see the potential and the vision and want to help us attain it. So it's really about the fit.
I'm just trying to keep everything in the United States. What about the tech, board tech companies? None of those guys provide the service that you're looking for?
Say that again?
In the tech world, the board tech center down in, they don't provide the service that you're looking for? All the tech guys down in that area?
I mean, there are coders in Columbia. We did look into a development company in Charleston. They were out of our price range. They were closer to the $200,000 range. The company we went with was originally based in Asheville. They have since spread out a little bit, and now they are in both Michigan and California. So yeah. There's one thing I've learned: everything takes longer than it should, or everything takes longer than I want it to. Let me put it that way.
Well, you want to do the, go ahead. No, you have one more?
I already asked the question. Well, I have, the other question I have is, are there any other SKUs, like in terms of, do you want to, at any point, do you see yourself branching off with other, maybe merch or some tangible product, or any type of SKUs in the realm of the cloud-based apps that are branded with your Cattywampus nomenclature. Is that something you're going to do, or you have plans to down the road maybe do something like that?
We have asked if we have merch. We may have a merch in this. We may have merch in the store one day. There has been talk about maybe making Cattywampus a web-based game as well as a mobile app, but not right now. Right now, the focus is mobile.
Utter chaos.
Bob, final question, please.
Yeah, thank you for fascinating insights into this industry.
Yeah.
What can 1 million cups do for you?
That is a great question. 1 million cups. So that lovely algorithm that we're all trying to figure out, right? If you see our post, watch it till the end, like it, comment on it, share it. If you like word games and you have friends that play word games, share Cattywampus with them. Finding engagement and traction in social media is a huge challenge right now. I just talked to the team this week about pivoting what we're doing and trying something new. The other thing is I would love to get the story out in podcasts. So if you guys have access or contacts in the world of podcast, women entrepreneurs, health entrepreneurs, aging well, brain health, cancer survivorship, any of those topics, gaming, of course, I'd love to be connected.
And before I let everybody go, Deb, could you please announce to the group what you were going to mention about the future?
Yeah, if everybody who was here for Ron Harvey's presentation and got a book with a blue star on it that gets them a ticket to their event, is there anybody in the room who got one of those?
No, what now?
A book with a blue star on it to Ron Harvey's event 3 weeks ago. He was here. Nobody?
I got a book.
You didn't get a star. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay, that's great. Those who got the star got admission to his event, but since you don't have a star, I don't have to give you the rest of the message.
All right, well, thank you everybody for coming. We will see you next week. Please contact Road Group.
That'd be awesome. All right.
Congratulations, Adina.
Hey.
Great job. Adina, I'm trying to like it on Facebook, but I can't see how to do it. I said, I put it up. See on Facebook? I'll talk to Adina.
Subscribe to.
I guess I'm gonna make a fast plan.
We have some music embedded in the camera today.
Just really can't keep trying to. Hey, Richard. Congratulations on winning.
We haven't got that.
Okay, you talk to something. Okay, like you good. Thank you. You got it. I'm telling you. Thank you for that.
I just gave it down.
Alright, bro.
Right now. Yes, sir.
I missed you last week. You came last week?
Did I make it last week? I don't think.
I forgot her name. What's her
No, I'm saying that. That would have been my cousin. Are you talking about Josiah?
Okay. I contacted his mom now.
His mom is Toy. Toy.
Yeah, James was her son.
Okay, no.
Okay, now James. She said her son had a baby. She lost him. I'm going to contact
I would have to know a name.
I'm bad with names. Now faces I remember, but names I can't. I have the time. So I'm a photogenic memory.
Yes, ma'am. Everything's good. How about with you? Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's doing well. We had to go to some event in Florida. Yeah, they were doing some fire
Oh, thank you. You know, I had to step into the role. Yeah, right. How's when you start the podcast? You get ready to start up? September? Huh? Yes. Absolutely. I would love to be there.